Okay, welcome everyone, and welcome to the Nutrition Journal Club. And today I'm Natalie Voshnik, so I'm the Senior Nutrition Advisor with Save the Children UK, and I sort of organize these Nutrition Journal Clubs. And I'm also the co-chair of the Save the Children Nutrition Technical Working Group. And so today we're really excited to have three speakers from Ghana, Ecuador and Pakistan who are going to talk about some of the work they've been doing. And I'm going to actually please let us know if you need another language, a translation, because we'll explain it in the chat and what to do to get that. And I will maybe just we'll have the three presentations and Alex is going to introduce them and how they fit into the Sun CSN work. And then we'll have hopefully 10-15 minutes for questions answers at the end, after all the presentations. So with that, thanks, Alex. I'll pass it over to you if you can just introduce yourself and get it all going.
Thanks, Nat. That's great. Hello and welcome everyone. It's really lovely to see some familiar faces here. And yeah, thank you, Nat, for organising the Nutrition Journal Club. So I think there are also new names to me, so I'll introduce myself. I'm Alexandra Newlands and I head the Scaling Up Nutrition Civil Society Network. If you're not familiar with it, it's a civil society network in across 67 countries that brings together over 5,000 civil society organizations as part of the wider Sun movement, which brings together governments, UN agencies, civil society, donors, and small businesses to end malnutrition. And I'll be honest, this is one of the sessions that I love the most in the job, because we get to do something we don't do enough. It's actually sitting down with you, those who are implementing the work, and hearing the progress and the impact that your own projects are delivering in your countries, in your own words. So to now introduce the Sun Civil Society Network Seed Fund Programme, or previously known as the Small Grants Programme. It was launched in 2018 to provide small grants of about $10,000 supporting Sun civil society alliances in country to pilot innovative or scalable programs or research-driven projects. And this funding is entirely locally led. It's designed to build the capacity of local organizations and alliances committed to advancing these initiatives for nutrition outcomes in their country. Initiatives that can in turn be scaled and shared as models of best practices across the global network and beyond, which is what we're doing today. So not a huge amount of money, but if you worked in this space as long as most of us have, you know that $10,000 in the right hands with the right trust behind it can go a very long way. And that's really the ethos behind it, right? Each round we suggest some thematic areas aligned with the Sun Civil Society Network's global and regional strategies, but without trying to dictate the what or the how. We really leave that to the Sun Civil Society Alliances, because they know their own context a lot better and what their communities actually need and what is possible. So they design it, and we try to back it well with our core donors who also believe in that model, supporting it really well. So this program is generally close to our hearts, especially on the localization agenda, because it's all about trusting our local and national members to lead a project according to their own priorities. So now, with no further ado, I have the honor to introduce the speakers today, and we have the honor to learn from three brilliant examples. The first one from the Ghana Sun Civil Society Alliance on their project on improving food system in Ghana through climate adaptation, mitigation, and resilience in vulnerable communities. And then we'll hear from Ecuador, La Red para la Nutrición Infantil, on the development of the Chronic Malnutrition Observatory, from the design to the advocacy that they're leading. And then thirdly, we'll hear from the Sun Civil Society Alliance in Pakistan on enhancing nutrition accountability. So three very different stories, 3 different entry points, but all of them show what happens when you give local organizations room to lead. So I won't take up more time. Let's hear from those people who actually do the work, and thank you all and Save the Children for creating this space. Over to Ghana, I think, to kick us off.
Yeah.
Over to you, Joshua.
Okay, so thank you very much, Alex and team. I see Francois too on the call, my very good friend Francois. Good afternoon from Ghana. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. My name is Joshua Nana Yurinchi. I'm the technical advisor for the Sun Civil Society Network in Ghana. And in 2024, we're lucky to implement the small scales grant after winning the proposal. The title of our project was Improving the Food Systems in Ghana Through Climate Adaptation, Mitigation, and Resilience in Vulnerable Communities in the Dinchobo district. So we implemented this project from October 2024 to March 2025. So by way of context, as some of you may know, Ghana is the largest producer of gold in Africa and the sixth largest producer of gold in the world. With it comes a lot of environmental challenges, especially when those minings are not done in a very sustainable way. So we have a lot of the youth who are unemployed going into what we call the galamsey, which is called illegal mining in English. And most of the farming communities, which we hitherto had before mining became very lucrative in Ghana, have now been turned into mining sites. Most of the youth are engaged in illegal mining, which is destroying water bodies, destroying farming communities, and is having a lot of long-term food production capabilities challenges. So we have been doing something when it comes to nutrition advocacy, and also we've been doing a lot of projects when it comes to sustainable farming. As you may know, the host of our civil society network is called the Hunger Alliance of Ghana, which greatly focuses on agriculture intervention. So we've done a lot of projects for USAID, SNV, and most of the big international organizations. But when it comes to nutrition, we are more focused on the advocacy aspect. But this one, we decided to do something very different, not just focus on advocacy, but do something which is quite tangible, which is the soya bean production. I'll delve into that in a few bit. So the main project or activities, the main objectives of our project were to address deforestation and environmental degradation, promote climate smart resilient soybean production, and then build some kind of climate awareness through advocacy and community education. So this is a picture I wanted to show all of us. Some may not know the impact of illegal mining and how it's affecting our farming communities in Ghana. So this shows the distraction level which we found in the selected district we chose. This is far greater than what we saw when we started the project. But of course, we cannot address all these as a CSO. We are also complementing the efforts of government. So whatever grants we may get, whatever intervention we can also use to support the government, we have to do so. So some of the key activities we implemented with this grants from the Sun CSN were we conducted a climate smart agriculture training workshop in the Achimwinchi communities with over 100 participants. And this was to sensitize them about the dangers of we as a country losing our farmlands to illegal mining and introduce a smarter way of agriculture for those farming communities. We also implemented an activity, a community forum on adaptation, mitigation, and resilience. We had a big community debate in one of the communities focusing on illegal mining and its effects on food security. We also had some field missions to establish a soya bean demonstration farms, build farmer organizations, and conduct project monitoring. We all know the importance of radio. We needed to carry our message, very far in the community. So we also had some 5 radio talk shows which aired in the district and local community radio stations, reaching wide rural audiences. So the issue with galamsey in those communities is that, farming, when you're engaging in farming, it takes a while before, from planting, you have to, wait for your plants to grow before they start fruiting, before you can even harvest, sell some, and even consume some. So we chose soya because soya doesn't take very long. When you plant, you can harvest it in 6 months. And we all know the benefits of soya beans is high in nutrients. Nutrition value is very high. It also helps some of those soils that have been destroyed by illegal mining by enriching those soils. So it was like a win-win for us choosing soya bean, focusing more on the nutritional component when it's harvested and the economic benefits it has, and also trying to, solve the issue of illegal mining by the youth. So these activities largely were carried out in coordination with the district assembly. They were very helpful. Most of the venues for our training workshops and the forum and the debates, their contribution to those activities was giving us venues free of charge because, they also needed to complement what we're bringing on board, what the Sun Civil Society Network was also bringing in terms of funding, so that we could have a very meaningful project. Without that, it would have been very difficult to mobilize extra resources to add on to the £10,000 we received to really do a lot of these activities in those communities in the districts. So we also had some seedlings, very subsidized seedlings, soya seedlings from the Department of Agriculture. They were very, very instrumental. Before we even started this project, they gave us a letter to share with the Sun Civil Society Network to show that indeed they were on board to support this very project. And of course, in communities in Ghana, you cannot do away with the local chiefs who also lend their support, especially when it comes to community debates. You need to speak to the chiefs that, oh, we are embarking on this very important intervention in your community. We've seen that illegal mining is destroying your water bodies, is destroying your farmlands. We want to introduce this intervention and introduce soya bean to your communities. It's also healthy for your people who may lack the nutritional components in their diets. And you have to really speak to those chiefs to really understand in the local language what you are about, and so that there is that buy-in from them, and they also mobilize the community members whenever we want to organize a deba or a community workshop, or even bring together the farmer groups, for the demonstration farms and all that.
Joshua, sorry, just there's only 2 minutes left. Sorry, so
Oh,
I see you have
sorry.
a few slides. If you could go a little
Sorry,
bit
sorry.
quicker.
So these are some of the pictures. I didn't want to bore you with a lot of pictures, but these are some of the pictures You can see the radio discussions. You can see the community deba. You can see the workshop with the banner. We have the Sun Civil Society Network, logos and all that on it. And then you have some sensitization workshop also going on. So what were the main outcomes? We observed that there was enhanced community awareness of climate resilience and sustainable agriculture. At times, they don't know, you have to show them. So together with the Department of Agriculture, we're able to teach a lot of these farming groups how to sustainably farm so that it doesn't destroy the environment. They had also improved farming practices through climate smart, environmentally friendly techniques. We strengthen local structures to sustain resilience building efforts. We increase participation of women and youth in climate action. And then for the soya bean model, it really gained traction and is being replicated now. The benefits of the grant, we observed that the small grant accelerated district activities and enhanced credibility through recognition from the Sun Secretariat. So when we go, before we started the intervention, people will be asking, what is sun? People don't even know what sun is, but when you Google, you show them, you demonstrate a bit, they see that, oh, this is a credible network we should be part of. So the government also buys into it and lends its support. So increased government and district collaboration, strengthening local partnerships. District authorities contributed venues for community debats, like I said. So how are we sustaining it? So we invested a lot in building the capacity of the local farmers and even community members. So we hope that the knowledge gained through the various fora on climate change mitigation, soya bean cultivation, etc., is being utilized after the project completed. And then training and forming farmer groups and establishing demonstration farms still remains operational to date. We also train some local champions, especially women and youth, to continue peer-to-peer training whenever they mobilize resources from other partners. So we are continuing, as we all know, funding is very limited, but anytime we get some small money, we go back and visit those communities we had an intervention. We are also pursuing funding to expand the soya bean cultivation in neighboring communities. And also discussions are ongoing with district authorities to formalize environmental bylaws that regulate land use and to control illegal mining. So these are some of the key lessons. Farmers are eager to adopt new practices when training is localized, practical, and culturally relevant. Illegal mining, unfortunately, remains a major threat to sustainability, requiring enforcement and policy advocacy. So we will not stop with our advocacy about how illegal mining is destroying our farmlands and our water bodies and the environment as a whole. So radio and storytelling are powerful tools for public education. We still organize farmers into cooperatives and exchange knowledge. So thank you very much for your audience.
Thank you so much. That was really interesting. Please save all your questions to the end. We'll have Syed, if you could come next. I know it's late for you in Pakistan.
Yeah, thank you so
Share your
much. Yes,
screen.
thank you. I'm sharing my screen. Yes, thank you.
If you could try and finish at past, that would be great, just so we have enough time
Yeah.
to find Pablo. Thanks.
Sure. Is it visible?
Yes.
My
Yes,
screen.
you can see.
Thank you so much for providing us this opportunity. My name is Syed Jafar Ali. I am working as the head of program in youth organization from Pakistan. Youth organization is the co-chair of the Sun CSN network, Pakistan. Like Ghana, we are Pakistan is also lucky to win this project, enhancing nutrition accountability in Pakistan. So we have implemented this project. The duration of this project was 6 months from September 2024 to February 2005. Project overview. In this project, we have fully engaged the policymakers and parliamentarians. Along with the policymakers and parliamentarians, we also empower the CSOs from all over the Pakistan, from the Sun CSC EXCOM members, from the Nutrition Secretariat and others, and also empower the communities to how they can make accountable the policymakers and parliamentarians regarding the nutrition, because in the Pakistan there is a huge gap in the financials and other the nutrition services. So in this project we socially we give the knowledge to the community that they can socially accountable the policymakers. We have conducted the pre-budgetary advocacy, stakeholder engagement, and target advocacy interventions. This project strengthen the community participation, influence the nutrition-related policies, strategic and laws, and promote sustainable resource allocation for nutrition. So we can this is our big achievement in this year. The public sector development program, which is the government-based interventions, they included the nutrition as a major component, and they increased their budget. Context of the project. Background project was continuous nutrition challenges was there, especially among the children and women under the unserved areas. So there is a the policies in the Pakistan. There is nutrition existing policies, but there is a implementation gap, especially weak accountability in the service delivery, limited citizen participation, inadequate budget transparency and nutrition financing, low awareness of the nutrition rights and services. So by implementing these projects, we strengthen this social accountability, community engagement, and policy advocacy to improve the nutrition governance. So basically in this project, we thoroughly work with the CSOs, the community members, and we conduct the different activities among the policymakers, parliamentarians, community, and service providers, that how we can improve this gap which are lying. So during the project, we have conducted multiple activities. Uh, in the first activity, we have conducting the four provincial level workshops. So this was the Pakistan-based project. So Pakistan is having four provinces. So we have conducted the four provincial training workshops with the EXCOM members, with the CSOs, in which 132 CSOs representatives have participated, and strengthen evidence-based nutrition education and engagement in the budget process. Same in this outcome, in this output, we have conducted the 20 sessions across Punjab, Sindh, KPK, and Balochistan. In this, we have engaged the 523 participants, in which 328 men and 195 women. So, including the community members, teachers, NHWs, local activists, and political representatives. The basic purpose of these activities was to empower community to educate for accountability and responsive nutrition services. Second activity was development and dissemination of sensitization educational materials. For this, we have developed the nutrition related brochures, IC materials, with the close coordination with the Nutrition Directorate. And we have largely disseminated these material among the all over Pakistan, especially in those areas which are the not covered by the government. So we have increased the knowledge and sensitization among the lactating women and children about the nutrition services. Other activity was pre-budget advocacy meeting and seminars. In this activity, we have conducted different seminars and meetings with the parliamentarians, government representatives, and development partners and civil society, in which we shared them with the other countries' good practices about the nutrition services. Same in this output, we have also conducted the media campaign for raising awareness on nutrition. In this component, we have conducted the media campaigns on the radio, television, print media, government officials, technical experts. So we have conducted these activities on different media, electronic and televisions. In these activities, we have formally invited the government officials, technical experts, academia, civil society, and UN representative. The basic purpose was that to strengthen the public awareness of nutrition and reinforce advocacy for greater policy attention and investment in nutrition. So, which we achieved in lobby letter to the policy and decision makers.
You have 2
All
minutes.
yeah,
Just
yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, just remaining 2 slides remaining. Just lobby letters. We have largely disseminated the lobby letters to the policy and decision makers, especially in the KPC and Balochistan, because in the Pakistan, these three provinces have they are providing low budget to the nutrition services. Public hearing and nutrition and food security program. This was very good, very ideal activity. In this activity, we have established our camps in the government offices, and we established there the feedbacks boxes, and we get the feedbacks from the community and get their feedback about the nutrition services. Community feedback mechanism nutrition services install suggestion boxes at selected basic health units across Balochistan, enable confidential community feedback from the females, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. Establish a community-led accountability mechanism to monitor service quality. Feedback was regularly reviewed and analyzed and shared with the health department. So this was very good practice. So we collect the information and share with the government authorities, and they officially endorse them. Community feedback mechanism is also project impact and sustainability. The project has created strong foundation for the long-term sustainability by strengthening the system, institutes, and community ownership in nutrition accountability. Key outcomes was increased community awareness on nutrition rights and services, strengthened CSO engagement in advocacy and accountability, improved dialogues between communities and health authorities, introduction of community feedback system and BHUs. This is our lesson learned. Community engagement is most effective when it is practical and localized. CSO capacity strengthening is a key driver of sustainability. Government engagement must be continuous. Simply accountability mechanism can be strengthen values. This was challenges. So I'm sharing few pictures about our activities. Provincial CSO's capacity strengthening workshops. I have taken one picture from the both 4 activities. Community session at provinces. These are the 4 provinces community sessions which we have conducted with different groups. IC material, pre-budget advocacy seminars with CSOs and parliamentarians. Community feedback mechanism and nutrition. Thank you so much. Time was very short. So
yeah,
any question?
Sorry.
Can I have already shared my presentation. So
yeah.
If any question need to again share, then I will be share again this presentation. So it's already shared from the team.
Yes, we'll share it after with who wants to have it. Thanks so much. Maybe I'll move over to Juan Pablo now with the remaining time. Thank you.
Thank you, Nat. Hello, everyone. This is Juan Pablo Guzman from Ecuador. I am part of REDNI, an NGO based on, or whose main objective is to try to reduce stunting here in the country. And I am also part of the SUN CSN here in Ecuador, and I am also part of the Consejo Consultivo para la Prevención y Reducción de la Desnutrición Crónica Infantil. So what we have done in Ecuador with the small grant, who has been very, very helpful, is that we have tried to establish a citizens observatory for child nutrition. And just to give you some sort of overview of what's happening here in Ecuador, and although stunting in children under 2 has been falling from 23.6% to 19.3% between 2018 and 2024, we are still in this situation in which 1 in 5 children is still affected with this condition. with far higher rates in rural areas and in poorest quintiles. So if we think of stunting in Ecuador, it does have an indigenous phase. And something that has been very helpful as well is that Ecuador has strengthened its legal framework in 2025. We have approved two important laws. One is the one to prevent and eradicate malnutrition, and then we have another early childhood law. However, and even though we have these very important legal frameworks, official data remains fragmented, and the voice of the citizens on service quality is not being taken into account. So it's our program, it has been very similar to the one in Pakistan. So we have had three key activities. The first one, in order to design this observatory, is that we have triangulated official data. In this case, one it's called ND survey, which is a statistical operation that the country has to do every year, even though the last year we didn't have it. Then we have another system that it's called CSN. This one is a nominal system based on administrative records. And then we have the information or the data from the Ministry of Economics, in which we can understand what's going on with the budget and all this data. So we have triangulated with these three points of data with a community-generated evidence network, and it has been working very, very nice. So that was the first activity. The second one is that we did a community, and we're doing a community monitoring network. So instead of making, like key dashboards with information that it's given us the country, and we have those balance scorecards, we have developed these community scorecards in real time with service, with an alert system as well. And something that has been very cool is that we're trying to do some sort of like focus groups in which we ask the community to tell us what's going on and what isn't. And something that has been very interesting is that we have developed this positive deviance mapping of exemplary local practices in which we can understand and we can identify what's going on in the terrain. And lastly, something that has been very, very useful is that we have made this annual report called the Citizen's Voice on Child Nutrition, also with quarterly policy briefs, with a portal of public data and local evidence packages. So all these three key activities have the idea and have the notion that civil society can have data and evidence to make advocacy based on what's going on with the numbers that the country's given us, but especially with the voice of the citizens as a whole. And something that has been very, very interesting is that we have worked through 2025, and now it's already been anchored in an institution, this observatory, that has been very, very useful. So in terms of sustainability, the project leaves a validated institutional design that can be anchored, as I said, in this observatory or in this council that it's integrated with civil society. And something that has been very helpful is instead of making just one study, we have created a replicated model that can turns disparate data into citizens-led accountability based on what the public policy should give to pregnant mothers and to little kids in order to prevent stunting within the framework of the first 1,000 days of lives. And something that we have learned so far that has made this program or this project very sustainable is that we started with different phases, and what we did is we managed to start with the low cost startup. So the model starts very light. It was a consultancy-based line of work hosted by or anchored, as I said, by this institution, which is el Consejo Consultivo de Prevención y Reducción de la Desnutrición Crónica Infantil. And then once it's been anchored by this institution, then it's formalized and as independent civil society organization. That's going to happen from year 2. And that helps us avoid fixed cost and before revenue matures, and then we have enough money to make it work. Another very important thing for this observatory is that we have diversified financing. So we have 4 complementary streams. One is corporate and sponsorship. The other one is NGO subscriptions. Then we have technical consultancies and an in-kind exchange from the people who's been part of this observatory. So we have no single funder that it's dominating, and we have several options to get the money flowing so we can do our work. And something that has worked a lot is that we have focused on cost optimization. So we have a shared infrastructure within, I said, this institution that it's led by civil society, but we have also made partnership with universities, and we have created a consultants network to keep the structure lean while building a technical legitimacy. Something that is very interesting as well is that all that we are doing in this observatory, it's based on the legal framework. And even though, as we all know, it could be established on paper, sometimes it doesn't happen how it should happen. So there's something that we should keep doing. And just to finish, I'm trying to be like very, very short, is we have a lot of lessons learned, but maybe some of the key lessons that we have learned so far is that what it's different from this observatory than the rest of observatories that we have in the country. First of all, this one is the first that it's specialized on nutrition, but this triangulation of information, it's what makes it different. And once we add the citizen's voice on what's going on, or with the data that the country is given up, we are fulfilling these gaps that surveys and administrative records cannot cover alone. And especially then we as civil society can produce our own data, our own alerts, what's going on the ground. And with that, we can advocate to make corrections in this connection with the government. Another very important lesson that we have learned is that institutional anchoring accelerates launch. So hosting in an already existing institution, this observatory has lowered the cost and has lent legitimacy to what we're doing. And that has enabled us to have early wins that have attract funders and have attract many other civil society organizations to be part of this observatory. And finally, something that is very, very important for those who are making advocacy is that balanced communication preserves access. So sometimes whenever we're observing what the country is doing, how the public policy is being implemented, we must always have to keep in mind to have this constructive tone, not trying to be against the state, not trying to be against the government, not trying to make this like kind of like a partisan or like political situation. We must have this idea that once we have a knowledge, once we have a notion, once we have information of something that it's not working on the ground, instead of asking the government to trying to be aggressive, we try to make them work with us, and we make recommendations. So we must have this idea of working with the government. That has also helped us a lot, and that has given us access to the data that we need in order to make our ideas. And some ideas to watch. Even though, like I said before, we have a legal framework, data access is not guaranteed. And it legally sounds, but politically, it depends on the data holder. So sometimes it depends on the political, relations that we have. Depending on that relations, the governments will give us the data or not. So that's something that the political situation, it's something that has to be like, we need to be very aware of that. Another thing that we need to watch is the community network must be resourced. So if we are on a yearly basis going to different territories and ask people what's going on, what's not going on, to make these balanced scorecards to find this positive deviance, we need to have resources in order for the teams to go to the territory and then kind of like, get the know of what's going on. And something that we also need to understand is that if we want to make this observatory something that would last, we need to fund it properly, not just the community network. So we do have that knowledge, and luckily we do have as of now the money to keep it flowing. So just for other Sun CSN members, just to keep in mind that the small seed investment can unlock a scalable civic intelligence platform. if institutional identity, that agreement, and financing unsettled before launch. So this has been very, very helpful for us. Civil society now has a lot of data, and it is through this data that we are making advocacy, and we are finding those alerts that the people are telling us, so we can work with the government to try to make a better implementation of the public policy so we can find this national goal that we have regarding stunting. So that would be for me. Thank you very much. I know we're running out of time, so I'm sorry if it took me a while.
Thank you so much, Juan Pablo. Really, really interesting. The 3 presentations. Thank you so much. And it's just amazing what you can do with $10,000. I'm so impressed. I don't know. We have maybe 1 minute, really, officially, or 2 minutes. Any questions, if you had some? I can see that Fabrizio, your question you've been chatting in the chat. Are there any other questions or just thoughts, including from some CSN colleagues or from? Please put your hand up from our Save the Children colleagues. I was just going to suggest, maybe as we wait, is just if you have any links, to the work you've done, could you put them in the chat? That would be great. Juan Pablo would love to see that how it works. I don't know if it's publicly visible, but I think it's really interesting. And same with Joshua Syed, if you have anything you can share, that would be really interesting. And sort of, Alex, just to finish off, I don't see any hands up, but could you just say how many small grants were given out in the past year or the past round? How many countries got it? I don't know how you count it.
We usually provide 4 small grants a year, 1 per region. We try. And there has been occasion where we have been able to deliver a few more according to the funds that we receive ourselves. So those are for civil society alliances, but we also provide small grants to our youth representatives managed by Sean, who's also on this call. So in total, we are trying to provide as many sub-grants as we can, but usually for CSAs, 1 per region per year.
Yeah, okay, yeah, super interesting. I think a question for us, Save the Children, as an INGO, I feel like we should maybe be thinking about how we can promote some of these, innovative, successful approaches that have come out of these small grants, or others somehow, at country level. I don't know, or Lennox, well, maybe we can brainstorm. But that's what my thought was. Okay, well, with that, maybe I just want to thank everyone for joining, all the 4 presenters with Alex. That was really interesting. I hope we can have another Nutrition Journal Club with some CSN colleagues presenting. That would be really great. And please join others that we have, because they're open to anyone. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a nice rest of day. Bye. Oh.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Nat, for organizing. Thanks to our presenters.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you very much for the support.
Thank you.